Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. A man can't look at another man and judge what the woman sees. And you know what, I've talked about this before, but I was inspired to do yet another one on it because you get a lot of guys who want to go to another man to determine how they look. Another man. And like I said, I've said this before, but I was inspired. Mr. Lucario had recently done a video about, he said, Looksmaxxing content is racist. And I'll put a link for that in the description box. And I was like, you know what? It's kind of stupid when a man goes to another man. Now, if a man is just going to like work on his best, that's one thing. But just going to another man and this other man saying you got to get like plastic surgery or something, come on now. Because all that man is saying whatever. Because I can tell any man doing that hasn't dealt with enough women. One of the things in dealing with women is they're going to look at a man differently. I'm going to tell you what. And that's one thing. Because every woman has their own preference. They have their own desire. Like I use the example of myself. Remember when I had that stroke and I had lost a lot of weight because I couldn't eat anything. Couldn't exercise. And I remember I still did some videos and guys were saying, hey, Uncle Rom, you look great. The women were saying something totally different. In fact, it was only maybe a couple guys that said, hey, you all right, Uncle Rom? You need something? They recognized. And one dude, he even commented recently. He said he had showed a video when I had lost a lot of weight to this woman, his woman. And she said he didn't look healthy. Look, I'm going to tell you something now. Women who they consider attractive and who a man considers attractive are two different things. First of all, they should. They got a vagina. They the ones who going to have the baby. Indeed, you know what? There's been quite a few guys, men, who had said something about they ain't like my look. Now, they ain't taking in consideration my age or anything, but they ain't like how I look. But it was irrelevant. I still got two sons. Two sons and a maybe. There's still one woman unaccounted for. But I've talked to some other women. Whatever the case, whatever they thought of my looks, they wanted to have a baby with me. And it wasn't because I was making all this money or anything like that. Shoot. In fact, in most cases, they were making more money. It wasn't even about the money, so don't even try to say that. They just liked how I looked. Now, of course, there's some women who didn't. Okay, you might not have got with them. And then there's always, the reality is women gonna like different types of guys. Like you get some men who thinking they gotta be all lean and stuff, right? But I've met some very attractive women who said to me, very attractive women, they said, they wanted, they didn't mind a little bit on a man. There are women out there, they say they like a little bit of ugly in a man. In fact, I always talk about my favorite rejection when a woman rejected me. She said I was too pretty. She said it. That's the word she used. She looked me dead in the eye, too. She looked me dead in the eye. And said, she ain't like my look. She like her men a bit rougher. Look, here's the thing with it. And incidentally, if I didn't say it, I don't remember. Let's just say I got distracted a bit. I put Mr. Lucario's video in the description box when he was talking about Looksmaxxing content is racist. Y'all check that out. And like I said, it inspired me because it's stupid for a man to go to another man or a man to even check out another man. A man, first of all, I want y'all to think about that. because I've said this 1,000 times, but you know what? I probably had to say it 1,000 more times. A man is not going to look at another man the same way a woman has. One, that man don't have a vagina. Like, I've had some guys come on here and say, oh, you don't look like all that. It was like, oh, I'll make your vagina tingle. I ain't being mean or anything. I'm just saying. How this man going to say something? Because when a woman is checking out a man, they looking at a lot of factors. In fact, that video I had did, that on-demand video, I'll put a link for that in the description box. They looking at factors that you might not even be thinking about. And a lot of them are non-verbal. You don't know what a woman's looking at, what she wants. Because I don't care how good you think you look, even if a woman says that you're handsome, that don't mean she automatically going to get with you. She might not want that. Because, like I said, I knew this woman, we still buddies on IG. Shoot, she married a man, had babies with him, and she called him ugly. That's what she wanted. Women want different things. Shoot, I know some women, they'll just get whatever. I've said it 1,000 times. A woman who used to watch this channel, I don't know if she still do, but she like a man who's clinically obese. See, here's the thing every single man got to understand. With a woman, they're women. You don't know what their needs are, what they're looking for, whatever. I remember a young lady I did a car video with a while ago. And she liked older men. She literally liked men who was old enough to be her father. You know, some women, they like a slim man. I remember a woman say she didn't want a man with a butt bigger than hers. All right, but then another one say she want a big man. And I'm going to tell you what. I always said pay attention to those men who are fathering children. When I remember this one dude. This dude, he dressed bummy. He didn't have a fancy haircut, yet he had 2 baby mamas. See, one thing a man has to understand, any man, first of all, don't worry about how a man look at you unless your ass gay. Now, if your ass is gay, this ain't the channel for you. You don't worry about that. You only be concerned with the women. And even with the women, you only be concerned with the ones who are truly down for you, the ones in your tribe. Like I always say, this young man said who did a webinar for me, every man can get maybe 10 women. All you have to worry about is the women you can get. Even if you try to holler at 100 women, you just worry about the ones you can get. If you get 3 out of 100, you just worry about those 3. That's all you have to be concerned with. As a man, you don't worry about what some other man is saying. That shit is straight moist. And they can't tell you what that woman has. Look, first of all, if a woman get excited about a man, first of all, the nipple on her breasts get hard. She start having changes in her body. Her estrogen start getting fired up. She start getting wet around her vagina. A man doesn't have that. See, when a woman looking at a man, and plus she looking at more than looks any damn way. She looking at his whole package. And I do mean package. She looking at everything and taking it into consideration. She looking at his face, but also his body build. She's looking at how tall he is. Oh, she's also looking at how he dressed. She's smelling how he smells. Shoot, if she close enough, she gonna smell that breath. And then even beyond that, she thinking about what vibe she getting. When a woman is checking out a man, they looking at a whole bunch of stuff. See, you got some men up here trying to say, well, you gotta have this, it gotta be perfect. Man, whatever. It's stupid as shit. In fact, if you pay for some shit like that, you being straight conned. And I'll say it. And I'll say it to any of those guys who are doing it. I'll look them in the face and then say, what you gonna do about it? You straight conning. How the fuck you? Shoot, even a homosexual can't tell another man what a woman looking at. Because even with what I do, the best I can say is this is what I seen. Because I remember when I first got started, a guy was asking me some stuff. And I said, well, you don't really look like any of the players I knew. That's the best I can do. And like I always said, when I think about the men who've gotten women, they've been everything from tall and slim to short and stocky. They've been different bodies. Shoot, that guy I mentioned who had 2 baby mamas, that dude was overweight. I know a dude who was good with women. The guy always said I always talk about him. He wanted to get some sex before he had the possibility of going to prison. He had no upper teeth. And see, here's the thing too. Don't try to talk about, oh, well, only attractive women. Don't try to break it down like that. You're not the woman. You don't know who they fucking. Because here's the thing too. You don't know these women. You don't know who they fucking behind closed doors. You ain't sure. You don't know. See, a lot of guys be trying to think, well, they want this, they want that. No, all the men are doing is projecting what they would go for. But those men are not women. I remember when I was younger, there was a dude, he was a good friend of mine too. He was a good friend of mine. He was saying like him and his father didn't think I was much. But his mother and some other women thought so. That's all that count. And that's all that should matter to you. If you're going to ask a woman some questions, well, really, you shouldn't even ask them for one simple reason. Just because that particular woman don't want you don't mean the next woman don't want you. Because every woman, they're going to want something different. All you had to do is fix yourself up as best as you can and then pay attention to the women who want you, the women who don't want you. That's really all you can do. You can't be tripping over different things. You can't be worried about it. That's all a man can do. And then figure out how he gonna get them. Really learn some game. Really learn what he gotta do. Learn what his shit is. Like, don't worry about all that. I talked about height too. Don't worry about you are what you are. I'll put a link to an on-demand video I did on that in the description box. You don't worry about those things. Look, you just be the best you can and go ahead and do it. And if you, and look, here's something else too. If you see somebody else getting a play, don't try to think about it too hard. If you see somebody maybe short stature getting some play, don't think because of this or this. The motherfucker getting play, don't worry about it. However they doing it, Don't worry about it. Or somebody might be a big man getting some play. However he doing it. Because I know a dude, he 300 pounds. And I've told him, hey, he got the charisma of 10 men. I mean, his charisma is dripping off of him. I ain't surprised at what he get. Yeah, women looking at that too. All the man has to do is be his best. Don't worry about what another man say you gotta do. Even when I talk about body game, what do I say? I say get your best body to be comfortable with yourself. But that's all you can really do. And even if you get a body that supposedly other men are comfortable with, what that mean to a woman? Because women, I'm going to tell you something now, women be looking at different shit. Sometimes, even if a man look too good, they ain't intimidated. They just don't want some man who look better than they do. Women by nature want a man They want to be the center of attention. They don't want a man look better than them. And they also don't want a man they worried about if he fucking other men. So they look at a lot of little things when they checking out a man. And also it's going to be depending on whatever their imprint is. Now, to be clear, the imprint is a combination of the first 2 or 3 men she's been with. I always say 3, but it's really it can come down to 2. It's never just 1. But that imprint could have been whatever, because you don't know that particular woman. You don't know what she like. Like I said, I know this woman, young lady who's a swan, and the guy she got with, they wouldn't be called Chad. And speaking of which, I remember I had somebody comment on, oh, you must be in an all-black neighborhood. No, I'm in Harford County, Maryland. It's a predominantly white county. It's a red county, okay? For anybody wondering about that. Oh, let me just say that on a tangent. Don't try to come up anything I say. Don't try to think about it. Do some research. See where I'm coming from. If you're going to do anything, say anything. Don't make any assumptions about shit, all right? But here's the thing. As a man, don't worry about what that other man say. You ain't trying to sleep with that man. You trying to sleep with the women. You need to worry about the women. And even with the women, there's going to be some women who, for whatever reason, don't want to get with you. And I'm going to tell you what, sometimes they can think you're handsome. Shoot, I remember this woman, she said I was handsome. She still ain't got no parts of the pussy. And then another woman, she said her looks had to carry us through. She would have married me. You don't know what a woman's looking for. And that's all. And really, I'm going to tell you what. In this thing of ours we call game, that's all you can really do is, one, fix yourself up to be the best, and then just go with it. Because you don't know what a woman's looking for. Like that short king thing. I never forget when I remember some women saying they'll take a short king because he's still trying hard. They ain't mind that. I mean, seriously, I've just talked with enough women. All of them will say something different. When I had that young woman in my car that time, now I don't have the video up anymore because we ain't together, so I said, okay, I'll show her some respect. I ain't gonna leave the video up. But she preferred older men. And I was about 20-something years older than her. So it's different. It's going to be different. Every woman, in fact, if you sit up and talk with 100 women and say what they want, really dig into it, it's not going to be the same type of guy. I don't care. I don't care what it is. They ain't going to be the same type of guy. You get some women, they ain't necessarily going for a guy with 6-pack abs. And like every now and then there's a clip I'll find on IG, and they have a group of men, and it'll ask the women what type of man they wanted. Now this particular IG, it didn't want the big muscular men. Shoot, the man who got the most attention was the guy, he had muscular arms, but he had a little bit of a stomach. And some women have said they prefer that type of man because they ain't hitting the gym like that. They would be self-conscious. Now that's them. Now a woman who's hitting the gym all the time, she might say something different. She might say something different. It depends on the woman. Everything depends on the woman. And all a man has to do, really, the only game for him is just figure out which women are most attracted to him. which women he can get the most attention from. That's it. That's it. But see, here's the thing. Another man can't tell you that shit. Because another man ain't a woman. And, you know, and it's interesting because even when I get some emails and stuff, dudes be asking me about women, this or that. I'm like, I don't know her. I don't know her. Women ain't robots. Women are different. I say, you know that woman better than me. I mean, I can say some general stuff, but at the end of the day, it's that woman. And it's how she interacting with you. And I don't know the whole story. So they're going to want different things. All a man has to do is figure out, okay, who feeling him? Who feeling him? What he need to do to get them? What he need to do to really hold them? They already feeling him. So what he need to do to hold on to them? That's it. That's it. So, I mean, but the bullshit going to another man to ask them and then having a man saying, you got to do this and that. It's like, come on, man. You cannot look at another man and tell what a woman likes. You only projecting your shit. You only projecting your shit. Like, I use the example again when I had lost all that weight after my stroke. I couldn't eat anything. I wasn't looking healthy. In fact, a woman told me, she looked me in the eye and told me, she was like, you look emaciated. A woman looked me in the eyes and told me that shit. But that's what she liked. Now, another woman might have looked at me and said, oh yeah, you perfect. Okay, but, you know. But then my thing was, I got to be comfortable with myself. When I was emaciated, when I was all not eating, I was not comfortable. I was not comfortable. Because remember, regardless of whatever, your main relationship is with yourself. Always remember that. Always remember that. And like I said, you in fact, the only way to really get an idea of where you stand is how women respond to you anyway. Because a man saying something, come on now. And even then, even with the women, every woman still ain't gonna like you. In fact, you can't lose sleep over it. If a woman reject you, she ain't want you. It could have been for whatever reason, even if she think you handsome. Even if a woman thinks that you're handsome, that woman can reject you for something. It could be something. You might not be the right religion for her. You might not be in the same subculture. She might, I've known some dudes who women have said were handsome, but they were virgins. There's so many things that go into it. So many things. And y'all need to remember that. Y'all need to remember that shit. Alright? Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get some vittles. Get my food. But just remember, if you're trying to get women, only thing that matters is the women that you're trying to get. Everything else is some bow. It's some bow. Alright? Don't worry about another man. That's some bullshit. Alright? So anyway, that's all I got for today. Get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.